Hi everybody, welcome back to another balloon tutorial. Today we're going to be twisting this balloon penguin. That's right, it's using a print that you can get from Lorax. That's right, see, ta-da! And we did two different bodies for this, as you can tell, and we'll go over both of them. But let me go ahead and spin it around just real quick so you can see. There we go. This one's a little more complicated than this one. This one's pretty darn easy, which is kind of cool. See? There it is. I'll go for it just for a second. So, thanks for being here today. If you've never been to my channel before, I appreciate it. We do balloon twisting here, and I try to keep it nice and simple as possible, and I try to make sure to cover all different types of designs. So, I think what I may start doing is, if you have a request, do it below, and maybe I'll go ahead and try to do it as well. Michael Floyd had a super good, idea when they did that. The wind fell, and maybe that'll be something fun to try for a little while at least. So, anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the balloons we're going to use for our penguin. I have them right over here. Let me get those, huh? All right, so here's what we're going to use, and stick around because I'm going to go over both body types. Okay, so once you see one, don't leave just yet. We'll go over the second one. So here's what we're going to use. I have an if you look at my people that know their colors really well, I think that's ivory, but if you have white, that works too. So either one, it's just what I'm looking at right there on my kit. So I just grabbed the ivory because either one's going to work. We have a little bit of orange right here, and then we have our black, and they're not inflated all the way. As you can see, I have more than a hand's grip there, and these are only blown up halfway. Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to use for the head, again, is the printed balloon, okay? And you get these in a bag of 100, I believe. And again, from Lorax, and don't worry, I'll put a link in the description below. There we go. So for all of my twisting tutorials, what I usually do is I will bring the sound down and I will twist with some voiceover, okay? That way we can minimize the squeaking and maximize the teaching. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's go and do that now. Let's bring that sound down.
We're going to go ahead and start with our black balloon. That's right. We're going to go ahead and do most of the body. Actually, yeah, I would say 90% of the body, and then a little bit with the white balloon. So I went ahead and started with the arm, which is about 4 fingers, followed with 2 pinch twists. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and wrap. See that right now? I just wrapped that balloon in there a few times. And when I normally do this, I would just blow that balloon up and just wrap it in there. I wouldn't tie it off at all because it'll stay in there. So I just did a segment there for the belly area, and I just came right back to match it. And I'm just making sure that's nice and secure. Don't need the rest of that. And we're just pulling that through there just to make sure it's nice and secure. There we go. And so you can see this a different way for the feet area down here. It's almost just like your traditional bear head, where it's a series of 5 bubbles. We got the side of the head there, see it's about 4 fingers. This would be the ear, that'd be the top of the head, and here's the other ear. There you go. Hopefully it doesn't confuse you, and that's the other side of the head there. See? So it's a chain of 5 bubbles. So if you've ever done just your classic bear head or standard bear head, then you could definitely do this part. Pretty easy. And I'm just going to roll that white bubble right through there. There we go. Okay, and the last thing we'll have is our second arm. Yep. So it's pretty easy to do. And it's one of those, because it has the pinch twist at the bottom, you're gonna make sure that you keep the balloon nice and soft. That's the only tip I would say, taken away from this, that you want to keep in mind, because that'll be very frustrating if you keep popping it there. So 2 pinch twists, number 1 and number 3. Okay, if you look at them in that sequence. And I just made sure as soon as it's clear, or the friction is holding it and it's not twisting anymore, I'm gonna stop twisting it. Okay, just because in a minute I'm going to come in with the feet, and I'll be able to hold those pinch twists in place, no problem. So our feet's 2 little bubbles. Those are about 2 fingers, and I just matched them up there. See, and I'm just going to wedge it in there. And you see, I'm going to go right behind it with the orange balloon. So I'm holding against there, and I'm going to go right behind the pinch twist, but I'm not going to twist it all the way around, because you'll see. Look, I'm going to squish the balloon and I'm going to pull at the same time. Okay, so we can get all that air out of there, and we're going to go over to the other pinch twists, and as soon as I make it around that other pinch twist, now I can go ahead and make our other foot. Ta-da! Pretty easy to do. And for this one, I do want this one to really stay, so I'm going to go ahead, once I break this off, I'm going to go ahead and continue around that pinch twist, so that way it's nice and secure. Okay, Feel pretty good about that. And so now that we've done that, the last thing we're going to do, or left to do, is to install the little penguin's head. And it's pretty easy to do. Oh, and you know what's funny is the lip on this, the nozzle part, was like kind of rolled in a little bit, so it kind of messed with trying to inflate it. At least you know, teeth blowing or whatever. I was trying to hold on to it. Now you probably also noticed that I didn't tie that balloon off. I just actually twisted it around a few times, and now I'm actually going to hold it up against the neck there, the neck area, and I'm just going to go around a few times, 2-3 times. You know, doesn't hurt. There we go. And then now we can just roll that round balloon, or the head piece, so that is in between the pinch twist that we created. And that will bring it to a successful conclusion. As you can see, it's pretty easy. Thanks for watching so far, but stick around. Remember, we're going to do little trim those little nozzles off, make sure it looks nice and clean, but now we're good to go.
All right, so there's the first body type, and so the second one, where it's gonna be a little bit different, is we're gonna go around, and these legs are gonna be made different as well, okay? So let me talk about one thing before I move to that, and I'll bring the sound back down again in just a minute. Pretty easy to do so far, as you can tell, okay? It'll take a little bit of practice, of course, but and making sure this is very important, keeping that balloon soft, okay? It's important in this structure, definitely, because of the pinch twist. Anytime you start to do that, you know, you put a lot of tension on the balloon. And so I tried to minimize, when I was doing this, how much I actually twisted the balloon, because I got this other balloon coming in here, and that's going to help, strengthen that and hold that in place. So look, an example here that I used. If you don't want to do 2 pinch twists there, if you want to add a little bow, you can definitely add a little bow, okay? And that'll be super cute as well, okay? There you go. Take a look. Ta-da. Okay. And let's go ahead and move on to our other one. We're going to move to this body right here that you can see, okay? Let's go ahead and do that now. Let's bring that sound back down, and we'll transition to putting the other one together. Here we go.
We're going to go ahead and start with our black balloon, inflated the same, and we won't use as much of it, but let's go ahead and do that now. You can see I have more than a hand's grip there, but we're going to start with our arm, followed by 2 pinch twists again. And the arm's about 4, I would say 4 fingers is pretty good, actually. Okay, and just a couple pinch twists there, and I'm just pulling that balloon through, rolling that balloon through so it stays. Again, going to wrap this through there. Make sure it stays in there well. There you go. And now again, we can do the belly area. I'm going to do that about 4 fingers, come back up. So I'm just going to match that back up to the neck area, and just twist those 2 together. Make sure they're nice and secure. Get rid of the balloon we have left over for the ivory, and I'm just going to make sure again that will go inside there and we don't lose it. And so the next thing to do is we're going to go around that belly we just made, and we're going to come right back up to the neck area. Alrighty, and so you can tell already this version is definitely easier when we're not doing those extra pinch twists towards the bottom. Okay, and then we finish with our arm, and for the black balloon, that will be it. So I just was measuring it, eyeballing it there to make sure that they're pretty close to each other. And let's go ahead and trim that off. Okay, so for this part we are done. Trim that little buddy off there too. Okay, so now we're going to get to the hardest part of the balloon, and that's going to be the little feet. And so I inflated my orange balloon here. As you can tell, it's about a hand's grip, and then I'm going to squish it so it's nice and soft actually to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the middle of it when I squish it, and I'm going to go ahead and tie myself a loop there, okay? So not a pinch twist, but a loop, kinda. You can see it's nice and loose, and so you can do the same thing. Squish the balloon a little bit so you get a little bit of space. I would say about 2 to 3 fingers in the middle there, as you can tell, and then we're going to grab the rest of that balloon and we're going to tie ourselves another loop. All right, there we go. And so once we've done that, knotted it real nice, make sure you trim off your excess pieces like I'm going to do right now. We'll end up with our 2 little feet when we do that. All right, there it is. So there's a nice little gap in between those. Again, about two fingers probably good in this case for the balloon we're dealing with. And now I just slid back that part of the body, and I'm going to roll one of those feet through the ivory balloon. There we go. And now we can actually roll that balloon back. You can grab on that ivory balloon and pull it back through, and the feet will stop it from doing that. And make sure you stretch those little feet as well. There we go. And then we're good to go. And then we have our little feet. And what happens is it becomes a nice little way for the balloon to sit down as well. So keep that in mind when you do this version versus the other one. I think the other one will too, but this one seemed to sit down better. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do now is just what we did in the first one, that is inflate that head so we can go ahead and wrap it around the neck. There we go. And we just work it so it's in between the 2 pinch twists there, and we have made it successfully. Thanks for watching, and stick around to hear about a contest that I'm going to do.
All right, so there it is. We made it to the end. We got 2 penguins. Let me bring back over number 1. Oh wait, I actually colored his beak, so they all start to look the same after a while. So anyway, there they are. We got our 2 penguins. Let me hold them still just for a second. This one will look. That one's got a big old noggin. But you know what? I think it all worked out in the end. Ha! There we go. Cool. Okay. So thanks for hanging out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I have more videos coming up. And again, oh, you know what? I almost forgot. I should have announced and started with this. If you didn't make it to this far of the video, maybe you cut out. But if you are here and you stuck around, I'm going to go ahead and do a contest, and that is for a free bag of penguin heads. So what will the contest be? Let's see. Why don't we do this? I did a panda video a while ago. You'll probably see it, and maybe I'll put a link to it over here somewhere and on one of the edges of the screen. And go ahead and watch that, and look for a character in the background. If you can tell me what his name is, be the first person to tell me, and I'll check and I'll be able to find out. Comment below if you know what the name of that character is in the background in the panda video. Hit me up, and then that'll be our winner right there. Okay? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, first person to comment below with the character from the panda video. So you're gonna want to see this and race over there and see who it is. All right. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for being here, and until next time, happy twisting. Bye.